Hello. Hello, my name is Shatanya Clark. Hello, my name is Shatanya Clark, and at the age of 25, I was diagnosed with a brain tumor. We are in June. It's June someday right now. It's the 7th, and this is the first time that I'm able to freely talk about the situation. And I just want to try to get into it for a lot of people who weren't aware of my diagnosis. I was out for like 3 months for surgery and recovery. And also, this is just an opportunity for me to really heal from it, sharing my journey, hopefully helping somebody. Since I've known myself, I've always had headaches, but it was not until mid to late 2019, early 2020 that I felt as though they were getting really, really badly. Of course, I live here in Wichita Falls, so for a while I thought maybe it was just, a change in climate, change in atmosphere and everything, moving from Florida here. And then I realized that this had to be so much more. So I finally got a PA that I started seeing regularly. I don't really like doctors, so yes, I did not have one at first. And then I started to explain my symptoms. And I think this is really important for anyone that's watching this to listen out to and pay attention to, just in case this may be something that you've noticed in yourself. So I was having really bad headaches. At least there's 7 days in a week, so maybe at least 5 days a week. Sometimes I had headaches that lasted up to 35 hours when I checked, because I was tracking them at one point. But it wasn't just regular headaches. People have headaches all the time. These were like mega migraines is what I call them. In addition to the really bad headaches, I could not concentrate. I used to have moments where if I'm walking, I felt as though the room was getting dark. And then toward maybe April, May, there'll be times when I would come to work and I'll be fumbling to get from one location to another. Of course, I work at Channel 3 here in Wichita Falls, and so there are a lot of lights around. Of course, we have like 2 or 3 scanners. We have scanners in our newsroom running, so the sounds became very sensitive for me. The bright lights, everything was just super sensitive. These were things that just didn't sit right with me. And of course, went back to my doctor's office. And they kept telling me, it's just migraines, it's just migraines. And I think it's very important for us as individuals to know our body, get used to our body, because for me, it just did not feel like a migraine. And again, I've had headaches over a long time, but at this point, nothing was working. My ibuprofens wouldn't work. Advils, Tylenol, like all those medications that I'd been taking before just stopped. Nothing was helping them. The only thing that would help is going to sleep wrapped up in a dark room. About August, I remember I was at work one day, and me and my colleague, Brandon, we went out of town for a story. And I remember coming back, and of course I wear wigs, I have low cut here. And on our way back, I had this massive migraine, so bad that I had to take my wig off. Now, if you know me, I do not take my wig off in front of anyone. Well, very few people. And on our back in the car, I had to take my wig off. It was so bad. I was covering my ears. It was just terrible. And I was crying a lot. And I got back to work and I was telling my boss that I couldn't work. I couldn't finish my story, like I had to go home. And that's when I was just like, yep, something is really bad. I remember my boss saying to me, like maybe a week or so later, like, have you ever tried talking to your doctor about MRI? And I said, no, because he keeps saying it's a migraine. And I just think, it's just getting worse. So eventually I did go to my PA, asked for MRI. And let's just say this, he did not believe me.
Okay, so pause. Just to be fair, I'm not bad-mouthing my PA at all. He was actually very attentive. I just wanted him to actually listen to my concerns and take them more seriously earlier on. Okay, back to the doc.
I think that's a problem that many of us have that don't like going to the doctor's office, is that they don't believe you when you speak. So eventually I got the MRI, and that morning, I remember, not the morning of the MRI, but the morning when I was explaining to him that's what I wanted, he kept saying to me, probably won't detect anything because this is what a migraine is. People have it all the time. You know, you need to figure out what your triggers are. And the truth is, I didn't know what my triggers were. And I remember I have a friend in Florida. She has really bad migraines since I've known her. And I've remembered since high school that she couldn't eat nuts. And I'm like, well, I'm eating chocolate, I'm eating nuts. Like, something just isn't right. On September 15th, was the day my MRI was scheduled. And I remember talking to my friend Michelle on the phone that morning, and I was just like, you know what, maybe everything is okay. And the truth is, I am hoping everything is okay, but I just want to cross that out so I have other options. Because at this point, all I was taking was pills and sleeping, and like there was no change. There was no change in my body. There was no change in the pain. Sometimes the pills wouldn't work. And I remember being on the phone with her that morning. I went to do the MRI at the hospital here in Wichita Falls. Got back home, was making breakfast to come to work, and I got a call from the doctor's office saying, you know, you need to come in so we can discuss your results.
Little did I know my life was about to change. Some may say for the better, but as the person experiencing it, I see it differently. This concludes part 1. Now, I didn't want to bore you with the whole thing at once, so check back here next week for part 2.